life forward. It's all the inside of the content that they change their life and guaranteed to move their life forward. So when we talk about wealth, it's our responsibility to step up and be us, right? We should all play a game here. You guys ready?
All right, let's do it.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's necessary.
It's necessary.
It's me, though.
It's me, though. That's
It's
it.
me.
Right?
It's me. It's me, right? I can share all the tools in the toolbox. I can share my story with you. I can get you on my side. I can give you everything you need. The one thing I can't change is your mindset, your heart set, and your gut set to make sure it's for you.
Yeah.
To make sure it's for you. And when it's for you, which means being you, like I talked about, then you'll know, because the world by default will change around you. You don't have to move the obstacles. The world moves the obstacles.
Yes, it's so good though. I mean, I love it because this is the thing. I know everyone, their minds are sitting there going, oh, you know, like how do they do it? But if we don't tap inside of yourself, the techniques, the steps, the tips, they don't even matter. If you're not willing to know that you're the one that matters inside, right?
And here's what I'll tell you. You'll never have riches on the outside. You'll never, ever, ever, ever. And I'll explain one moment what riches means. You'll never have riches on the outside until you understand all the richness inside. Because the richness inside creates the abundance on the outside, right? I can sit here all day and brag about, yes, I built a business, $1 million the first year, $1 million the second year, $1 million the third year, $1 million the fourth year, $1 million the fifth year. Yes, I've coached more than 10,000 CEOs on how to scale and sell their business and make loads of money. Loads of money. You know what, though? What I am confident about, that is not wealth. That is not wealth. That's a result of work. That's a result of knowing who you are. If you achieve that pinnacle of success, it's because you stand your ground and you know who you are and you don't allow someone else's opinion of you or the world or anything sway you. We're so concerned right now with fitting in, and our responsibility is to figure out how to stand out.
Yes, sister.
Every one of us are special.
Yep.
And you remove one of us from the equation, none of us exist.
That's it.
We're all one.
I love
one removed means none of us exist.
I love it.
So you got to stay in your lane and you got to own your space. You got to get off social media. Not today.
Yeah, and get inside your
Today,
space,
you
right?
need to listen to what we're saying.
No,
Actually, you don't need to listen to what we're saying. What I know is you're here is because you're ready to change.
Yeah.
You're ready to shift. You're ready to be you. You just don't know how. And you've never, ever, ever until today been given permission to.
Yeah, I love it, sister. Yes, let's listen to
every
her.
one of us girls give you permission to own your space. Because to win any championship, it takes a team.
Yep.
And it sure in the hell takes a strong team to win a championship.
I love it.
You
Well, let's
can't
talk
be
to our other
making your
teammate,
vow.
Camille, so we can get Camille. Thank you, Anissa. I love her. I love you. So, Camille, I know you're vibing with this, and you have just been like all over the space. Share with me, what is your idea of wealth? And please share with us like one piece of advice that you've learned about keeping a healthy attachment to wealth and what it would be. Because I also, like, this is really big because I also want you to share like what you're doing in the world. But I want to start here because the healthy attachment, I think, is something that everyone needs to learn about and hear from you.
Hello, hello, hello. It is so fabulous to be here. And I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me on your stage today. So for me, my idea of wealth is the connection we have with people around the world. People think that wealth is all about the money and the material stuff that we have. That's not what wealth is about. Wealth is about being a service to others. Being that person that's going to help the next person to the next level. And as they grow, so do you. So for me, wealth is a combination of your peace of mind, going within yourself, peace with yourself, the love that you have for yourself, the love for your family, the people that surround you, and your mental health. That's how I see wealth. Now, to me, if anybody else doesn't understand that, just think about it. Where is your wealth coming from? Is it the money that you're making now, or is it people that you're helping to grow?
Well, you are the one that can speak on that because I love it the most. And the project that you're working on I love it. Yeah, so good. The project that you're working on right now, can you share a bit about that? Because what you just said is how you gain wealth in your life. Is it just the wealth that you gain or the people that you help? And there are some really special things that we're going to be doing with you by helping you with the girls in Africa. Please share more of that, please.
So there's a few, I don't want to call names, but there's a few of us that don't understand that to make connections with people around the world, this is how you learn and you grow. So we're getting ready to start a program that's going to be helping us to rescue young women, young ladies, girls that in certain country, as soon as you reach the age of maturity, meaning you start your menstrual cycle, you get sold off to the person with the best goat and the best sheep. So I don't believe that a little girl should be somebody's property. And if I can go in and help to teach them that they're strong and powerful and they're individual, I can make a difference, and so can you. So it starts with who? Me. So it's starting right there.
Yeah, and that's true. That's where the true wealth and not only enriches yourself, because I think people get, misunderstood, like, oh, they're just talking about money. No, we're talking about richness. And when you are fulfilled and enriched, that's where that high frequency comes from. That's when that abundance comes from, because now you're attractive. People want to learn from you, know from you, buy from you, just be around you. This is the true wealth. So thank you, Camille, for the work that you're doing. I noticed we just got Dame Doria Cordova just joined us. So good to have you. All right, woman, I love you. So can you share something, like while you were growing up, was there something that you wish that you knew about wealth or what you know now?
Oh, hello, everyone. Aloha from Maui. I was just going to say that one of the things that I thought when I was little, that people that were wealthy and rich were special, that God had given them some kind of a gift for them. And I wish I had known that the way to create wealth is by following systems, also having a greater purpose, and the way that our beautiful Camille was talking about, being of service, creating a product or service that really adds value to humanity, and you can create an economic engine around it. And with a great business model, you can create wealth. And so I wish I had known that, but because most of the world, when I grew up in the 50s, there were the rich, and then there was middle class. That's all I knew. And so it wasn't until later, as I grew up and I began to learn all these different distinctions and the great masters, the Dale Carnegies of the world, the Napoleon Hills, and the different books that I began to read that were teaching and sharing about not only wealth, how you could create money and wealth by interviewing the richest people in the world, but also how much value they were adding. And the ones that were happiest were the ones that were of service. So I wish I had known that when I was little.
Well, it's big, right? Like this is the kind of things you start. I love the statement that says success leaves clues, and when we're younger, we don't always realize that. And this is like some of the biggest and best lessons. I mean, you've had the opportunity to work with some of the best, or actually not work with them. You've helped them grow, helped them build. What was the foundation of how you were able to enter yourself into that space, you think, Dame Doria?
Oh, I was very blessed because I was part of a team that created the experiential entrepreneurial transformational industry back in 1978. My mentors, Marshall Thurber and Bobby DePorter, literally created the industry, except we didn't know that a new industry was being created.
Yep.
And we were students of great masters like Buckminster Fuller. And, and we had the genius of Marshall, and then learning from other masters that some people have never heard of, but they have changed the world, like Edward Deming with systems and Georgi Lozanov teaching experiential learning. And then, of course, people like Ilya Prigogine, who was explaining what perturbation is and how the brain grows, how we learn. And so I had the opportunity to be able to learn, and we were all growing together. So, so when we met Tony Robbins when he was 23 years old, we could tell that he was going to be a star, but he wasn't a star yet. And then Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad Poor Dad, being my business partner for 9 years, we created him to be ready for somebody like Sharon Lechter to kind of take him over. And what you have to do is you have to understand, again, that it's all systems, and it is alignment, collaboration. And we didn't have the level of technology that we have now, and to have these thousands of people that are watching us right now. And oh my goodness, it's like what I would have done had I had social media, Zoom, and the ability to communicate. So thank you, God, for technology that allows us to share this awesome information.
Yeah, I love it. You're right. I mean, it's as we develop, we have to be able to, lean into that and embrace it, right? And this is why too, like, we're creating so many new platforms and ways that we can control that and make sure that we can stay connected to people. Thank you, Dame Doria. I absolutely adore you and your work. Katrina, what's happening, sister? Look at this. This is the woman with, like, first I'm like, oh, we're launching another book. Oh, this is my second best-selling book. She's like, yeah, I've got about 11 of those.
I'm standing up today, so I was gonna move around, and then I'm like, no, she'll probably mention my books. I should say about the books.
You better say that. Like, it's totally so awesome. I love it. Okay, so I have one question for you. If you could change one thing about the way society talks about wealth, what do you think that would be?
It would be, stop it. No, that is, seriously, stop talking about it in a negative manner. We all deserve to make as much money as humanly possible, frankly. And too many people judge, and there's no place for judgment. I mean, I fall into judgment every once in a while too, but no, you've got to stop judging people for making more money. Kudos to them, right? If you have a good business model, right, Dame? And if you have love in your life, right, fabulous. And you've got the right systems in place, you can make a whole lot of money. And why would you stop?
Well, that's the thing, right? And I mean, and this is why I love this platform with Women Gone Wild, because all of us are at different levels in our lives and our business. However, every one of us has such a different skill. And what you just said, you kind of like put the bow around what it takes to really build a conscious, epic business, right? Because you need the systems, you need a great offer, you need a way to market yourself, and you need the right eyeballs. And that's why all of us are here. All of us have come together because we're like, we know what it takes to get your voice out there, to build your business and to build something that's impactful. So with that being said, Katrina, I mean, you've built your business model, and you're pumping out books like it's tomorrow. Like, how is this possible? Everyone wants to know, like, how is this woman putting out so many books? Because books are what we've all learned from, and we're coming back. Like, books are coming back in a big way, right? Everyone's tired of digital.
Well, and my husband's a voiceover artist too, so he loves doing voiceover.
See,
so, yeah.
He's got to be in the network. We need to say who's the best voiceovers. Go to Katrina.
I follow my passion. I follow what people want, and I create it. So that's what I've been doing my whole time in my business. When I was in advertising sales way back when, 22 years ago, selling newspaper ads, knocking on doors. Hey, you want to buy an ad? Hey, you want to buy an ad? The business owners would like give me their business card. I'm like, I'm I'm not putting that in the newspaper. I'm going to do this instead. And you're going to get better results. And you're going to do it for 13 weeks instead of 1 week. And, so I would have to educate them. And that's just what I did. And they needed that education. They needed more than just running an ad. So I went on my own business and started doing that, helping people with their marketing. And then there was just more. People needed more. They needed to know the foundation of the business. They needed to know systems and technology and sales. And how do you close a sale? And how do you say the things you say, Katrina? And so this thing kept evolving into everything else that I do. And then books came around. I had no desire to be an author 20 years ago when I started my business, or 19, but zero. I was like, I want to get clients. I want to make money. I don't care about a book. You don't make money off a book, right? That's what I was thinking, seriously. And then 4 years into my business, I got coaches and I'm going to workshops, and I'm like, oh, I got a book. Oh, they're on stage with that book. Oh, they're getting more people because they have the book. I'm like, okay, this book thing's kind of important.
Yeah.
So I started writing some books and getting in books like this, and it just keeps evolving like that.
Well, it does. And you made thank you for that. You made a super good point, because by having a book, it's not only credibility for your brand, but it's also a way, it's like a ticket in. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, it really truly is. It's a ticket in to say, look, I'm a best-selling author. I'm going to give you a copy of my book. And then you get asked to be on stages. You get asked to speak for their events because you've got something credible. And this is why, we realize, like, Women Gone Well, we need to trademark this and share it and build it to a much bigger platform because it matters. So I really appreciate that, Katrina. Thank you, babe. When is your event? Does it start tomorrow or today? Like, what is it?
I have a 1 day tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. 1 day is tomorrow.
You're going to video in some content. I know, because you can't do it. But yeah, I'm putting in 11-hour days this week because of this event and all that. And
you are a complete rock star. I love it. Thank you, Katrina. All right. So Loretta, we've got a big question for you, babe, because this woman not only knows how to attract wealth, she knows how to help people create bigger movements in their life. But this is a big question that came through. When individuals get paid like a large sum of money for the first time, right? Because you're still doing real estate, like this happens. What crucial advice would you actually give them?
So, Rhonda, thank you for asking a very important question, and thank you for this wonderful platform where we are empowered and taking action, because the more educated the women are, that's how a country goes when it comes to wealth.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that we are together on this platform. But to answer the question, when you receive a lump sum, first of all, lump sum is relative. That could be anywhere from a few $1,000s to a few $1 million. So it really just kind of depends on what you receive. And the key is to determine the most efficient zone action that you can take at that moment to achieve your outcome. So whatever that may be for you, a few options could be that you pay yourself first by building up an emergency fund. Another option is that you can pay down debt. There's an old school wisdom that says that those people who don't understand interest will pay it, and those who understand interest will earn it. The third thing you can do is you can invest in assets, assets meaning that you're going to receive a return on your investment. Now, some people think that purchasing their own home is an asset. Well, it depends, right? If that investment property is not paying you, that home is a liability. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a home, but just be clear about understanding that your asset must pay you. You must receive a return on investment. But there's an even more important question, which is if you receive that lump sum and within 5 years of controlling your own destiny, that you learned how to start your own business involving your family and leaving a legacy. Diana talked about that earlier, and leaving a legacy. You want to work your own business and involve your family so that you can become financially independent instead of helping someone else become financially independent.
Yeah, this woman knows what she's talking about. Woo! I love it. Well, it's true though. I mean, so many people do think like, oh, if I get a house, I'm investing and this is my asset. But in reality, we have to really look at that. And that's what you do best, right? Mama Soul, you help, people really invest in the right real estate and really get the returns because.
I do. I help families. I help parents and entrepreneurs who want to start their own business, whether it's in real estate investing or another type of business, but to monetize your unique gifts. Because everyone has a unique gift or talent that they can monetize that they love doing and they can make money. And it's really all about giving your family options so that they can understand what's possible for them as well.
Yeah.
I wish someone earlier in my life had taught me about having mentors and proximity of power with mentors to pour that wisdom into you.
Well, I mean, they say, wisdom is power, straight from Mama Soul Wisdom. I love it. Thank you, ladies. Such a powerful panel. I truly, really appreciate you guys in such a powerful segment. But we want to come together because we've got a lot of questions. So I'm going to grab some questions over here. I'm going to ask each of you as they come forward. Let's keep it nice and tight so that we can get through all of you because we do have very special musician coming forward, the Grammy Award-winning Smash Mouth, Greg Camp from Smash Mouth is going to come and jam for us. And he's going to talk about some of our funny things that we did in San Diego, them sleeping on my floor literally before they won their Grammy. Like, it's hilarious. Okay, so let's get to the questions because it's going to be super fun the rest of the afternoon. Okay, Anicia, Alte is asking, I just started my business, and what is the easiest way, would you say right now, to get clients if you're just starting out? That's a loaded one. I think you're muted, darling. The life of Zoom. Soon we'll all be together.
It's not often I'm silent, and that's okay. All right? Here's what I'll say. I'll keep talking until you hear me, because that's the only way to move you, right? And it's the same thing. The way to get clients is to speak loudly enough while you're doing what you're doing, right? What I know is when you serve your purpose, and my purpose is to have everybody be one family, and it stands for a few things, you can't shut me up.
Yeah.
And that's called free marketing. You know what I mean? We're not talking about branding here. We're talking about how do I get clients? And that's how's my voice going to get listened to? Nobody's going to listen to your voice until you believe what you're saying. Inside out, right? When you have wealth on the inside, you have abundance on the outside.
Yep, it's huge because this keeps coming back, right? People are like, how can I get to the end before I actually come from the inside? And we've got to start from the inside, and it's sharing that voice now. Especially if you're brand new, don't spend any money on marketing. Especially if you're brand new. You can't get to the summit of the mountain, right? We're here at the summit today. You cannot get to the summit if you didn't start at base camp. That's it. That's it, sister. All right, love it. Okay, so question now for you, Camille. Bree is asking, what if we don't have women around us to learn from like you have?
Well, that's a good question, but we all have women around us.
Right now. We got this big network, right?
This entire platform that we have, all you have to do is just reach out. That's it. So we are the voice for the voiceless. We are the voice that's going to speak out for the women that don't want to. You can reach me on any social media, and I will talk to you.
Yeah, you know what? It's so big, Camille. It's getting even bigger, like this network we're putting together, like this community, because most people think that we're not accessible. That is so untrue. I answer every freaking thing. I got billions of messages that come through my Instagram. I answer them all. Before I go to bed, I do it because then I really have a connection to really the work I'm doing. And if we're not just trying to make profit, we're trying to leave a difference and an impact, we take the time to do it. I mean, and that's why we come to these places, right? That's why we're building a space so that we can be on the summit, be speaking our gifts, and you can be actually asking them a question right now. Just like this question that Wanda asked for you, Dame Doria, which I love it. She's like, I feel like my purpose is so big, but she doesn't feel ready or know how to say anything or how to share it. How do you deal with that type of fear?
Okay, so this goes back to what has been shared here. How do you eat an elephant? Everybody knows the answer, one bite at a time. So I feel that it is really important to have an audacious, huge, outrageous goal. That's part of the formula. One of my favorite business books is called Good to Great by Jim Collins. It's about a 21-year-old book, little tiny book, read it now. And he's the one that talks about big, audacious goals. Then what you have to do is you have to break it down. And I like to give a gift that people can go to moneyandyou.com and download a business success model book. It's called the Business Success Model. It's for free, and you can just have that book. And one of the things that is how to create a business model, which includes being able to first learn from experts and masters. So I want to congratulate you, of course, Rhonda and the team and everyone here, because we're doing that. This is what this whole platform is about.
Yeah.
And of course, creating a niche, being very clear for your niche, and that is for your marketing people, then leveraging that niche through systems, creating an aligned team, the way that we all have it here, like this particular family, this whole group is literally your team. Yeah. And we're all aligned and we're all bringing all these different things together. And then we are going to create synergy, which in the end is going to create results. So you have to have a combination of that big, beautiful vision, that beautiful picture. And then you also have to be able to create what I keep talking about, an economic engine around your life purpose. And it's one step at a time, spending time on income generating activities. And right here, the fruit bowl from our Money and You program, to create systems, to have clear rules of the game, policies. It's all there. All of us have a little piece of it for you, but it's like literally taking one foot in front of the other and knowing that that big picture is crucial, but so are the details.
Yes, I love it. Absolutely. That was huge. And I love, it's like we're reiterating why you're here, why stay inside of the Women Gone Wild Network. Like, this is what we're doing for you right now. But Katrina, I've got a really big question for you, and it's great. It's from Rose. She asks, how do you handle guilt, money, and haters when you're pushing so much content out all the time?
Is that question for me? I don't have a lot of guilt around that.
Well, but maybe they're asking because I think some people, when it comes to money guilt, like haters, like, when you're sharing your voice so big, right?
Yes,
sometimes people come at you and then you're like, should I have not, right?
Yeah. You just have to come at them with love and say, like, I work really hard to build the business of my dreams. And I've invested heavily in learning the things I need to learn and the people that help me do the thing I need to do, and invested in the technology. If you haven't done that, I don't know, but that's what I would say. And I deserve it.
Yeah.
I deserve it, and I'm also doing good with it. So more people that are doing good in the world should be making more money. So if you're going to do really good in this world, if you have a really good heart, please go make more money, because you will make that ripple effect more than anything.
Yes, I love it, sister. Oh, I love it. Yes. Make more money, be a good person in the world. It's a pretty simple formula. Hang around with others that are doing it. All right, Loretta, Cheryl's asked you, with social media controlling who sees you, what is the best way to share your story with the masses, you'd say?
In social media, people want to see who you really are. And why this is important is that what is being shared today by powerful women, it's information that has been shared. But what stops people is they don't think that they can do it. Like, it's not duplicatable for them. So the more that you share your message on social media in an authentic way, So what does that mean? Some days are great. Some days they don't go the way you expect. Some days you laugh. Some days you cry. You show it all. And by doing that, you are giving permission for others to do the same because they see themselves in you. This might be a finished product now, but I tell people when I was born and raised, I grew up on the south side of Chicago in the ghetto. No green grass, no trees, broken glass everywhere. Our family wasn't considered middle class, right? And so you share your authentic self on social media. Just tell your story and add value.
I love it, girl. It's so true, right? I mean, this is where everyone gaps. They're like, oh, look at where they are. How do we even get up there? Do what we did. Start sharing your story. Start talking about it. Get in front of the right people. Stay around the right people. But it's about sharing not only your story, but what your gifts are. That's the start. I don't know who it said earlier, but the moment you start sharing it, some other opportunity, Anya, so another opportunity will go, oh, you need help with that? Let me help you. This is the power of using our voice, ladies, like sharing what it is. And there's so many women right now already part of the Women Gone Wild network that are here to not only show you what they've done, but also to lift you up and to help you get to the next level. Ladies, the 5 of you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for writing your incredible book, a chapter in this book, and sharing your gifts with the world. If you guys don't have it yet, remember, you can actually get access, the hard copy book, if you got the mystery box. It's going to show up on your doorstep. But before we go, I want to welcome and congratulate those of you that actually grabbed already the Ignite Your Fire kit and grab the recordings, because now you're going to be able to come back, find out more about these ladies, and listen to the whole show. So the recordings, way to go. Eileen in Illinois, Laurel in Delaware, Natalie in Pennsylvania, Kimberly in Idaho, and Suzanne, who's in Virginia. Congratulations, you guys. I've gotten all of the recordings. Those will be sent to you right after the event. And don't forget, you get my 30K in 30-day course. That was a part of Russell Brunson's book, How to Make 30K in 30 Days if you've lost all of it. And I made the best chapter. So, okay, so now we've got a really epic video that we're going to be playing. And I really want you to get and feel into where we are right now. We've been talking about this network. We've been talking about how to stay among the women and the groups that are doing the work. We've been focused on how you can be part of a bigger plan in the space, how you can showcase your wares and not actually have to worry about what happens to social media when it goes down. I am a trend watcher. I've been in digital marketing for 15 years. Social media is going away. Social media is actually suppressing our message and making it harder to connect. So we are now preparing ourselves to have our content together with the most epic women around the world so that we can always control where our content is at. So we're going to give you a walkthrough video of what I have been feverishly working on and my team to fill on a gap that has never been created or never been done for our industry until right now. Super excited. Watch that video. Thanks, ladies, for being here.
Hey, Michelle Schaefer here, and Rhonda asked me to do a quick behind-the-scenes demo for you of the Wild Network platform. So I'm going to show you what it is, how it works, and how you can get your content featured here. Let's start from the top. So we've got a searchable site to make it easy for people to find you based on your name, your topics, what you are sharing. Typical navigation here, but we've got topics based on what are the types of content that wild women are looking for. And I love this. Up here in the corner, you'll see we are tracking how many women are impacted every month by the network, because that's what this is about. It's about getting your content in front of the women who are going to fall in love with you as soon as they find you and know that you exist. So we've got this featured gallery spotlight area at the top where right now we've got a quiz. What kind of wild woman are you? Because as we build that list, we blast your content out to that list. Now, scrolling down through the page, we've got featured items, we've got wild items we think viewers will like, and this is based on what they're interacting with, what they're searching for. So we're tracking that and using AI to really show people things they'll love. We've got collections. As a featured wild woman on the network, you get a profile page where you're featured and you can link out to your social media, to your offers, your products, your services, your programs, and get people into your world. We've got most inspiring, we've got classics, wild women channels, and featured topics. Again, because we want people to dive in and find your content on the network. Every piece of content has a hover teaser here where you can see we've got a quotable, we've got a watch list feature so that people can mark the ones they want to come back to, some details about it, who's featured, but let's open this up and go into a collection. So each collection, and this is the Rhonda Swan Show, has a page like this where each of the episodes in the collection are featured. You can see some of the details here. And when you go to continue watching here, it takes you to the page dedicated to the video. So imagine your video here. People can give you feedback on it. They can share because we know we are great at sharing content that we love. This is how your content gets out there everywhere. Featured experts are here. You've got a summary where you can share a little bit about what's in your video. You can also link out. So if you've got a next step for people, a worksheet, a PDF, an ebook, you can link to it right here and be building your list as people find your content. You have the option to also add action steps in. And as you can see, the system remembers what viewers completed, and when they come back, those action steps are checked for them. So you've got ways to really give people opportunities to not just watch your content, but take action on what you're sharing with them. We've also got featured items over here, what's popular and hot, and what we think they'll like. Now, join as a rock star. Your ad spots can be featured over here in the sidebar along the network. So imagine your products and services featured right here in these spots. And it's not just about being featured on the network, because we syndicate all over the place. So your content is really going to get out there. Plus, we've got some amazing bonuses for you. Those Wild Network ad spots I just mentioned, getting featured in Women Gone Wild magazine, even a personal column in Women Gone Wild magazine, and so much more. We've got a Wild Women Mastermind. It is limited how many women we can let in. So make sure you join us before that fills so that you can get all of these bonuses and get your content featured all over the Wild Network. Go ahead, click that button, join us, and we will see you in the network.
Audio guy running in here. I switched it up a bit and I started to bring in my handsome husband. Well, you don't have to stand up because you're taller than me. Oh, actually, you're not taller than me. You can barely see his head. No, stop doing that. Jeez. See what happens when you bring in men into the female energy? Actually, I brought him in for a really special reason because, obviously today is really heavy. We're talking about, women that have gone wild. But the only way that many of us women have actually been able to go wild is because of the support that we have from our partners. Whether it's, a male partner, a female partner, it's about creating that neutrality and that balance. And for women to go witchy, to do our magic, we deserve and need to have that support around us. And for that, honey, I want to thank you for being such an amazing rock and support system in our life.
Oh, let's do it right
Oh
publicly.
my gosh, this guy. I'm so cute.
Still can't get it on the lip.
If you know the Swano, you can give him some love. Oh, look who we got here. Oh my God, I'm so excited. You made it. So I've been teasing this all morning. You're going to unmute yourself in a minute. I've been teasing this all morning. And remember how I said, if you are back in the day, right? Like in my 20s, I was 23 years old when I first got to meet these guys. And I brought Swano too, Greg, because hopefully we can get Hanalei down from upstairs. And, Greg Camp, guys, I've been sharing it all morning, but Greg, for those that you don't remember, the Grammy Award-winning song that Smash Mouth sang, what was the year, Greg, that you guys won the Grammy? 99, right? It was 99, I think, yeah? Oh, you're muted, I think. We can't hear you yet. Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. So was it 99 when you guys won the Grammy?
We didn't win a Grammy. I was nominated.
Nominated for the Grammy. So what year was it? 99?
I'm a Grammy loser here.
You're so silly. All right, so this is so awesome, though. But Greg Camp wrote the song All Star. Everyone knows it. They're like, oh my gosh. It was funny when I was talking to Greg yesterday. He's like, so just tell me, Rhonda, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to play All Star? And all the girls, Mash and Nelly, they're all like, All Star, he's got to play All Star. I was like, well, Greg, you can play what you want, but it'd be really super cool. But before you do that, because I really love you, you're in your RV right now, traveling across the U.S. And I just how you do it?
You jumped way ahead of me. I put on my ascot and I got my captain's hat on. I have my admiral, who is my father. And our co-pilot, Charlie the girl, on here is Charlie the girl. And we drove from California. We started on Saturday, and today's Tuesday. We kind of kicked butt all the way out here. And we're here. We're in Nashville.
You made it. Awesome.
We made it.
So, all right. So do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? I know Gina was going to be here, but because you guys are traveling across the country, you made this time for us. And it's funny, Brian and I were just saying, we were 23 when we were hanging out in San Diego, on our patio, that tiny little place that we had. You were like, what, 27? We were 23, something like that.
Because I think your All-Star just went #1.
Yeah.
And we had a big party on the beach. We had a one-bedroom place that Rhonda and I were living in. And
dirty.
I walk out in the morning after the big night, and the whole band is sleeping on the floor. I'm like, when did the royalties start to kick in? And I think you got up here like going, dude, we just had fun. We don't care about a hotel room. Back in the day.
That was an amazing. Like Borbet was with us, maybe Cage, a bunch of people were with us, and we were sitting on that, outside we were sleeping on your floor. Yeah. We all woke up the next morning, and you guys grabbed your boards and just charged, and I was like, I don't think I would survive after that night out there in that ocean,
Oh, it was so good, though. It's so good to see you. Like, here we all are gray. You look at you two.
Yeah, look at this.
2 gray beards. You used to have black hair, dyed it, got over it, let it go, now natural. So good. This guy kept his color, but his beard is just all white.
I know. Well, you inspired me to try to get an unstoppable beard last year, and I gave up. I totally gave up. Once it got a little longer than this, I said, never.
Don't worry, I got the right products for you.
Look, we got somebody who just arrived too. You can sit on the floor. Look at how big Hanalei is.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Hanalei. How are you?
Good to see you.
I think you met Hanalei when she was like 1 or 2. So she was super small when we were traveling. So, Greg, I'm super happy to have you here, and I wanted to really have a chat before you start to jam, and because you and I were actually talking about this, like. Right now, the whole reason our lives' success is because of our families, right? And, Brian and his support, like we really protect that sacred union, right? Like that's something so important within our family. And you, I know, with your life and what you've already gone through from rock star to really being a home dad around his girls, I wanted to have you kind of tap into that because I think a lot of young people, they kind of lose that aspect. And they're like, oh, I'm a rock star. This is who I should be. And there's, Hanalei talks a lot about the objectification of the feminine. She's 14, right? And she sees this stuff happening. And it's like, how can we shift that? And how have you kind of seen this taking place in your journey? Oh,
there
he is.
Sorry, I heard most of you said, hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You know, I decided to jump off the road when my kids were born, and you know, step into the role of a father and see their first step, hear their first words, and do all that. That was very, very important to me. So I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming through. You're a little bit choppy, but we can still hear. Everyone's kind
It's
of
a little.
hanging on to the edge of their seat. You know, because I think it's so important that, you know, we, you know, the area that you've grown up in and what you guys have done, you know, how do you see that shifting now for young people? Like, you're being such a stronger role model for who you are now. And I think it's really powerful for those to see, like, you go from rock star status to being an epic dad, you know, and what that actually rock stars should still just be epic men and epic dads all along and epic women all along and not live into the societal norms.
Yeah. I mean, my kids, they see me as a dad, as a father. They sometimes, you know, their friends will say, hey, let's sing that song All Star that your dad wrote, you know, and my kids are more, they're embarrassed, you know, it's embarrassing. And they're like, no, let's do some, you know, Cardi B, let's do something else, you know. But anyway, you know, it's like, the one thing I do try to do is nurture any sort of artistic thing that they're doing. They're both very, very artistic. They love to paint. They're very inspired by you, Hanalei, and they, you know, in fact, Ginger, my middle girl, started designing clothing, and she was just way into like checking out what you do. My youngest is a singer, and she got better rhythm than I do. And they're all super stylish and super cool. My oldest, you know, graduated college, and she designs, you know, she does websites for people, and they're all into art. They're into visual or audio art. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know, and this is the beauty of it, you know, and I think that, you know, with a strong, like Brian and I talk about this often, with a strong male in their daughter's life, because right now this is like these young women are looking up to see who they're going to choose as their partner, and they're not going to look any higher than their dad. Like, their dad is their ultimate. And so men being right, they're not going to go lower than their dad. Sorry, they're going to look for something better and higher. Right. And your dad is like your ultimate, you know, grounding and what she aspires to find. And that's why you and Brian are such amazing examples for that, because we want our girls, you know, to really look for the highest that they know that they deserve, and to see them have the best examples in that.
Exactly. You know, and Gina homeschools her kids, and you know, she's very, very hands-on. I'm the substitute teacher. Gina's much smarter than I am, and so I just, and I'm actually the lunch guy. You know, I make sure that they're fed. And
lunch duty. They
have enough protein for their brains and enough water, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we know. I know my place. You know, Brian, you know your place. And, you know, we step out when we're supposed to, and we step in when we're supposed to, you know?
Well, that's the thing. Wild women can be wild if the men just create a safe container for them.
Right.
All right, my man, what do you say? Should we do a little jam?
Of course, yeah. Oh, what, you mean jam? Like you guys are going to play too?
Well, Hanalei could get her guitar because she's been playing. I've got my medicine drum and a rattle. Yeah, let's hear my man.
Yeah, so you guys wanted to hear All Star, right?
I think the audience is kind of going, All Star, All Star. Look at the girls. We're like, oh, let's show the inside the studio. Everyone's like, ah.
Okay, well, So, yeah, hopefully everyone knows the words a little bit and they can help me sing this because I'm not the singer of that band. But
Should we bring people up on it? Or we have a dance party?
Yeah, let's have a dance party.
somebody
Once told me the world is gonna roll me. Ain't it sharp?
Fucking John John with the shape of an elf
On her forehead.
Don't stop coming. Get to the rules and hit the ground running. It makes sense not to live for fun. Brain gets smart. Gets watch the truth in my disease. The world's wrong. Never know when it comes up. You'll never shine if you don't love. Hey now, you're an all-star. Go play. Hey now, get the shine, get paid, and all that is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. It's a cool place, and they say it gets cold. Hold up now, wait till you get older. With the meteor man back to do. Judging by the holes in the satellite picture. The ice we skate, getting pretty thin. Water's getting warm, so you might as well swim. World's on fire, how about yours? That's the way I never get bored.
Hey now.
Should we get everybody up?
Go play.
Hey, hey now, you're a rock star.
Go. He keeps coming up.
Only
Shooting stars. Oh.
Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on, don't play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Show on, get played. All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars. Somebody once asked, could I spare some change? Gas, I need to suck away from this place. I said, yeah, with a concept. Use a little time. Myself, always a little change. When the world stopped and then I'll stop killing. Back to the rules and I hit the ground running. Did it make sense not to live up on the brain? It's smart, your head gets numb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't love. Hey now, you're a star. Dream on, go. Hey now, you're a rock star. Show off, get paid. All that glitters is gold. Shooting stars break the mold. All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold.
Yeah. You got the studio
Go
all
home.
excited. I'll go home. Hey, so was there a story about that song, you think? Like, how did that song get written? Because you know, this is one of your pieces. Like, and I know it's been like the most used song in so many movies.
Yeah. So, I mean, the way it was started was that Paul, who you know, Paul
Yeah.
Delisle, the bass player for Smash Mouth, he and I used to do our laundry a lot together on the road. And we would read fan mail back when that was a thing. Like people would actually like send letters in the mail with a
Wow. You're aging yourself, bro.
Hanale's like, what? What is that, like a CD or something? So anyway, we realized that there was a lot of kids out there that were being bullied and shoved around by their older siblings or people at school and stuff. And so we wanted to write a song for them. That was the initial idea. And so the song is really like a self-affirmation for anyone really at this point. And the song's crossed over so many, barriers and borders. And it's like anyone can take that song and use it and apply it to their lives and, empower themselves with those words, and it's flipping, and it just seems like everyone really likes it. So.
Yeah. Well, it's done quite well, and it's always played and sang in our house. We actually found a video the other day, Greg. Hanalei was 2 in Hawaii.
We've sent that to you.
We sent it to you, remember? And it was like this little electric guitar. It was like, but it was all-star. It was playing, and she was like playing it. And you just always have been part of the family, and we just absolutely love you. We love what you stand for, and we can't wait for our families to reunite or unite, so that we can be in the same space together, not just on this digital space.
Yeah, Greg's a surfer, so we're gonna have to get some waves
dude,
and Bali together.
Here. These two are killing it right now, surfing.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, you can get some lessons from Hanalei.
A little different than Steamer Lane.
I'm a terrible surfer, by the way. And so, Hanalei and Brian, you guys got to shoot.
Done.
Oh yeah, we're gonna come with you.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Well, we love you.
Wait, I gotta make one confession.
Hold on, he's got a confession.
I got a confession. I don't know if I told you, but when we went on your tour bus for like 3 shows, and when you had the fans come back and there's people signing autographs, I was signing autographs as if I was in the band. So there's gonna be like some Brian Swan Smash Mouth, and they may be going high on eBay because they're limited edition.
Oh yeah, so he's got to have a big confession. I stole a Corona and I pretended I was in the band. He's been holding this.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah. I think maybe.
We had so much fun. I remember calling Brian.
You must be a handsome guy,
But I remember calling him, Greg. Remember it was Belly Up. You guys were playing, I think, in San Diego. And I was like, Brian, I'm going on the tour bus with Greg and the band up to LA. And he's like, huh? What are you going to do? I'm like, I'm calling in work. He's like, I can't call in work. I'll meet you there.
I had my boss
I was like,
and I'm like,
I'll meet you there on Saturday. So we toured all the way up with you to LA, and then Swano met us there. It was such good times.
Such good times. Such good times. But you guys sleeping on the floor, icing on the cake.
Let's do it again, but I have a bed.
Tripping over rock stars is something. That's one of the craziest things you'll do at your own home.
Tripping over rock stars. Thanks, Greg. I love you. Thanks, Pops. Good to see you. Travel safely. Best of my love to your girls, and we'll see you soon. Woo-hoo. Love you.
Yeah.
Yes, that was awesome, family. Wow. So good, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for being here, and I really...
You mean I have to get off this?
Yeah.
Is this our cue to leave?
This is our...
It kind of says, cue your family to get
wait,
off the
is that
stage.
What that,
Are you just
that
taking
hook
us
is
now?
like
Yeah, take your blue
just-
stump with you.
You just wanted like the cute little I got my family with us and then you're kicking us off the show. That's
kind of it. Okay, so but while they're getting ready to leave, I'm gonna welcome in our live keynote speaker. So make sure you stick around. She's a dear friend. Her name is Leah Steele, and there's a couple exciting things though that I want to share with you before Leah comes out here. All of a sudden, the studio is going to shift, so you get to watch and see what happens right before your eyes. But one very important piece I want to share with you is my charity project here in Bali, Indonesia. It's called Heartstrings Project, which focuses on introducing music into the lives of orphan children here on Bali. It's been now a year. We've been actually practicing every single Monday. We're teaching them the guitar and the violin, and we're also employing 4 musicians locally here that teach the kids. So we're creating an economy, which, like Michelle said earlier about an impact investor, that's what we're doing, and I think you're gonna love it. So watch it, learn from the kids, and then all of a sudden, things are gonna switch it up. See you in a moment. Thanks. I'm super excited. Today is the first lesson for the Heartstrings Projects music school that we created here on Bali. Myself, Ryan Whitewolf, and the Sundaram Strings are bringing orphan children and the local village kids here, not only in Tabanan, but in Denpasar, which are regions and villages here in Bali. And we're bringing them together to teach them music, violin and guitar, so that we can preserve the traditional Balinese music, but bring music into these kid's life. You know, there are so many kids here on Bali that don't have families, and the SOS Children's Village Orphanage has brought in so many beautiful children, but they don't always have the help that they need, especially now with tourism that's down. And so now we're helping support that, bring joy into these kids' life, bring a new frequency of music, and really help them tune into themselves and find and have a skill that they can take with themselves for the rest of their life. So I'm so excited for today. The kids are all here. They've got their shirts, they got their songbooks, they've got their violins, and the string players have already started their very first lesson. So let's go see what the kids are up to.
Ya susah lumayan karena ini pertama kali saya bermain musik khususnya biola, jadi sedikit lumayan susah untuk di awal. Kakak pengajarnya sangat ramah dan sangat berkompeten dalam bidangnya, jadi lebih mudah untuk saya memahami yang dikatakan oleh kakak pengajarnya. Terima kasih kepada kakak-kakak dari Heartstring Project, karena berkat dari project ini kami jadi dapat berlatih skill kami di bidang musik, khususnya biola dan gitar. Jadi kami ini mendapatkan keterampilan baru khususnya di bidang musik. Seperti itu, terima kasih banyak kepada kakak-kakak dari Heartstring Project.
Hari ini Tika bakalan belajar biola. I think it's really good.
So powerful. It's called Heartstrings. My daughter Hanalei actually named it because they pulled so much at our heartstrings of how these children were so happy, and none of them have parents. And so we came together to bring some local musicians to add not only something into their life, but to give them a skill that they can take with them forever. And music fills the soul, and it allows them to create their own happiness within their life. And so this is such a beautiful, beautiful project. So thank you for watching. But also, guys, please let me know in chat, who has been actually sharing the broadcast? We need you to do it again right now, because we're getting ready to go live with Leah Steele. And she's gonna help show you how to deconstruct financial slavery. But also, if you share, you're collecting the gifts that I'm giving away. And there's one more gift for you tonight before we close up. So click and share and help us reach more women with this wild message. Share now, because your friends and connections are going to love our next guest. And now's a great time to get them on with us. So let's go grab our keynote speaker, who's actually hanging out here in the green room. Well, it's actually the gold room, right here with me in Bali. Let's go get Leah. Oh, sister. Woo! How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, so good. So are you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right, let's go on in. We got a chair ready for you?
All right, let's do it.
I know, we got thousands of people have been here. The day's been pretty awesome, you know, like we've been really breaking down like what the values that all of us as women have and what we want to really share to the world. I mean, obviously it's Wealth Day, so that's a pretty big one. And you are the absolute best person I could imagine to like close the show, and the fact that you're in Bali was even bigger. But I'd like to introduce Leah to all of you so you actually know a bit about her from me. She's the CEO and founder of the Wealth Witch podcast. She's also the producer of the Witches of Wall Street reality TV show, which both of us are witches, right? We're kind of witchy and we're wild. And she's a holistic wealth strategist and thought leader, and the creator of the emotional resonance clearing modality. Leah's purpose is to inspire and empower millions of people to wake up, repattern their wealth programming, and reclaim their divine right to be wealthy in all areas of their lives. And I love this conversation, Leah. Like, it's so awesome to have you. You're my dearest, dearest sister. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about this, you know, problem that we have right now. This is the real epidemic, isn't it? This is not the virus, the pandemic. The real epidemic is this financial slavery that people have found themselves locked in. How are you seeing what's happening, and where do you think we can go?
Yeah, so first of all, I've been watching all morning and this has been amazing. So well done, you. Yeah, you know, I think that the last year and a half, coming on 2 years now, right? We've just found ourselves in this place that I don't think any of us thought we were going to be.
Yeah.
However, this reality of financial slavery consciousness and financial internment, it's been going on for generations. We're just now seeing it because the control and manipulation has come so much more to the forefront of our everyday lives. And so, you know, while part of this is, it's heartbreaking to see what's happening to families across the world with the lockdowns and the closing down of businesses and people just not being able to earn money the way that they used to, I really believe that this is a big blessing right now, because we're getting an opportunity to see how we've been controlled and manipulated for generations.
So talk about that, because I mean, this is sensitive, right, guys? So just remember, we're going to be talking about some real shit here. Well, excuse me, I didn't even mean to swear. Because it's so meaningful, right? We're going to be talking about some real stuff that you need to wake up. That's why we're here today, because we know too, when women of the family become more wealthy, the families then become more abundant. You're making decisions right now for your family, and what's happening is where you now can crack open and to start make a shift. So let's talk about how this programming, what's been happening. I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, we can actually trace this back. We're talking about women gone wild, right? Exactly. So we can actually trace this back to the Inquisition and to the, you know, and even before that with the squashing of the divine feminine. Yeah. So we were stripped of the things that made us most powerful in the world, our intuition, our gifts, our healing abilities. And
it burned at the stake.
And with that, our ability to be properly resourced.
Yeah.
Because we cared for and supported the witches in our tribe, the healers, the medicine women, those women that were there to support the tribe and the community. And so they were properly resourced and they were properly taken care of. But, you know, with the canonization of the Bible and the rise of the patriarchy, we saw a removal of the divine feminine. And with that, women's ability to be properly resourced and to earn money. And then we've got this global economy that's built on the back of bodies. And has been as long as we can remember. So there's a lot of things that I think that people aren't comfortable looking at because we're not following the money line, which you talk about, and we're not looking at honest wealth. We are unaware of how the dollars that we spend are supporting slave labor, are supporting sex trafficking. And we are controlled and manipulated so much with the things that we need to survive and the things that we need to have in order to provide for our families.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a conversation I think we could have for probably 12 hours.
And we do. I mean, we talk about the same exact stuff every single time because it's about like cracking that code. Like I know some people are watching, they're like, what are you talking about? This is tough. Life is tough for me right now. Everything is tough. You know, we're going to rely on the government. No, it's not. This is what they want you to believe. They've been wanting to make you think that you cannot have wealth, and now you're at a ceiling. You know, and so how do we help reprogram this? Like, how do we shift this? Because you talk about deconstructing financial slavery. Like, this is a big statement.
Yeah. So, I mean, the first thing that I want to say to any of the people who are watching, that if you're struggling, if you're having difficulty making ends meet, if you're having difficulty, you know, making your car payment, making your house payment, your credit score has gone to hell, if you're struggling financially, you're actually doing exactly what the global financial agenda wants you to do.
That's it.
Because it's keeping you leveraged, it's keeping you from your sovereignty, and it's keeping you from being free from a system that doesn't have our highest and best interests at heart. So for me, I think that the very first thing that we can do and the most important thing that we do is to begin to question everything, especially the things that we've always just believed to be true because our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents believed them and told us they were true. If we begin to ask ourselves, if this thing that I believed is true, my whole entire life was a lie, who would benefit from me believing that lie? And if there's a corporation, a government, or a regulatory body or agency that would benefit financially from you believing that lie, it's really time to start opening your eyes.
Then they're going to invest in it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So let's talk about women in wealth, right? You work a lot with women. And, obviously this is what Women Gone Wild's about. It's about creating the safe container for women to actually go wild. And with wild, that means wealth. It means intuition, leadership, diversity, embracing all of it to have an enriching life. What do you think is stopping women from actually believing in themselves and creating more wealth?
Well, I think that, the biggest thing is fear.
Yeah.
And I think we fear each other. We fear shining more than, rising up above others. Because we've really been programmed and conditioned our whole lives to not trust each other.
Well, you were the one that gave me this, you put it into words, this crab bucket mentality. And it just it gave me the visual immediately that I knew everyone could understand.
Yeah.
And it's like that holding each other down.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of literally lifting and pulling.
So if you take a 5-gallon bucket and you put a bunch of crabs in it, no crab will ever escape that bucket. Because the minute one puts its little pincher on the edge and is about to get out, the rest pull it back down. And so, we refer to this on this side of the world in Australia, tall poppy syndrome. Yeah. It's the same. Don't grow taller than the other poppies, right? Don't shine too much. Don't become too powerful. Don't become too successful. And because of those times during the Inquisition when we were forced to turn on each other, we just have a deep mistrust.
Yeah.
And so I think that a lot of us don't step into our sovereignty and our ability to become economically free because we're afraid of what our sisters, how they're going to react or how they're going to tear us down.
Well, and I think we have that wound, it's a lot of it comes from our generations as well. My generation, my grandmother was a Cherokee Indian, all right? She was like a medicine woman. And I grew up and I didn't want to be airy-fairy, right? Because it was just coming into the 70s, into the 80s, into the 90s when it was big thing to be a professional woman, right? And to own a business. So I completely blocked all of that and went the opposite way. But what happened is that I became really hard. I had started to lose a lot of that divine feminine energy and power that I had, and I was just following my masculine, what I was told to do, to be accepted, to make more money, and I was then stepping on other women, right, without even realizing it. That was so accepted. And it makes me sick to think that that is how we were told that success is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, my story, very similar. And for me, the beauty of this movement and the beauty of, the work that we're doing in the world to bring awareness to this is that we have a choice. We don't have to live like that anymore. Yeah. We get to actually say, no, I want to come together with other women because together we're so much stronger.
Yes.
And together we rise greater than we ever can on our own. And so to me, it's this Women Gone Wild is so incredible because it is this movement to re-wild ourselves. Because once we were wild, don't forget, once we were so in our bodies and in our, in our love and in our fierce protectiveness of our tribe. And to me, that is true wealth. When we have wealth in every single area of our lives, that's true wealth. But when we're stifling each other and ourselves, and we're controlling what we allow the world to see, and we're kind of trying to stay in these boxes of what's societally acceptable, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and this is why we've not only wrote this book. Leah, of course, was one of the chapters in the book. I think you're chapter 9, 109, because that's also your very divine number.
My life path.
Her life path number. And she talks about divine decision making. And it's so cool because the book, once this book came out and then it turned into this manifesto, and now we're creating the women's largest network and the largest movement of women coming together. What do you think should be next? How do you think women should be, the decisions that they're making? Many are here maybe trying to start a business, they haven't. What do you think people should really start?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we all want to do our purpose work in the world, right? We all want to share that divine mission that we've been sent here to share. But I think what happens is women wait. So they don't move forward because they don't know exactly what that purpose work is yet, or they don't know exactly what that divine mission is. And so the thing I would say is we need to just start. You need to start sharing your voices. You need to start sharing your thoughts. And you need to start thinking about how you can monetize that. Yeah. It's so important right now. We have to begin to look at how we can open up different streams of revenue, because as we know, if the last year and a half has showed us anything, it has showed us that what we once believed was safe, stable, and secure is no longer. Yeah. And so it's so important that we start looking at where can we open up additional streams of revenue and income for ourselves, and just start actioning.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so big. I mean, this is also why, because you and I just talked about this the other day, like additional streams of revenue. My goodness, I've got probably 20 to 30 different streams of income. And when someone's, this is just my business, I'm like, no, I mean, I write a book, I own a company, I'm an investor, like all these different things that we do that women don't realize, like just, I'm an affiliate of other people's stuff, like, right? We share each other's things, but this is where the power is on why I want to create this network as well, right? Because I want to be able to create multiple streams of revenue for people and help them bring theirs in so that everyone can be part of it. But I think there's some big gaps, which is also why we built this. And where do you think, like if women were starting now, what do you think some of the gaps they probably have with scaling? Because most of them are manually doing it.
Oh,
right?
Listen, I can tell you because I've been there, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's first of all, it's not knowing what you don't know.
Yeah.
And if you're an entrepreneur and you're a solopreneur and you're out there trying to do everything yourself, I taught myself everything, and I just winged it for so many years and left so much money on the table. Yeah. So this piece of like systems and funnels and support is huge. And so that's the thing I think I'm the most excited about with the network is women who are content creators or who have a message being able to come into this network and have all of that support already there and set up for them.
Well, I think too, like, would you say the biggest gaps that I've seen, like I'm a super techie geek, right? So I started working 15 years ago. I built the first funnel. Like I was one of the first women that built the first funnel, made $1 million with a funnel, and I didn't even know what a funnel was, right? And since then, now there's a lot of tools, but these tools are very masculine. They're very difficult. I mean, like they say it's supposed to make it easy. Yeah. I mean, it's not easy. I have a massive team now to help me run all these systems that are supposed to help me make more money. Instead, I've invested more. So I started finding those gaps, right? Where the technology side, the sales funnels, like especially women, like we want to share our gift, which is why everything ends up happening manually. And we hit a ceiling of what we can actually do. It's because we don't have the tech or the wherewithal or the understanding of actually how to do it and how to have and find the marketing, the eyeballs, right? Like you can maybe get some tech together and you have a great offer, but if you don't have eyeballs or people that are watching it, you're stuck. And so this is why I'm putting the network together. Now I've been working with you and said, okay, where do you think the gaps are? Like, what do you think women need right now? Like, we love community, right? Yeah. Being in a space of community. I have been asking for this forever, and that is the largest network and like a Rolodex of every single woman and what they do. So I can say, oh, I need help with marketing, Facebook ads. These are all the women that do it, right?
And they're qualified women.
And they're qualified because they're in the network, right? Yeah, they're qualified to do the work. Like your work. Right? You and Michelle actually have an amazing, amazing business. And I can imagine other women that are doing similar things to you or they need your help. They don't really know how to find it because it's extremely unique. Yep. Right? And to be able to be like featured and showcased in front of, let's say my network, right? I get 500,000 plus views on my shows. And we've got women that are inside this network. You're inside the network, teaching your wealth strategies and the courses that you and Michelle run. Like your people now can go to a place where you are at, But the coolest thing is we've got AI that's going to say, if you like this, you might also like Rhonda's stuff, right? Or if you like Rhonda, you might like Leah's, because they know that I'm into marketing, you're into wealth, and if they're doing it together, they like both. So we're building this. So we're building it almost like, it's like Netflix and Thinkific, because that's like another like course program, coming together. Right? So, or like Amazon Prime coming together, where you're completely showcased on what your content is. And then like you're featured all over the platform. And so like this is stuff that I think most women may not know how to do themselves.
I don't think anyone knows how to do this unless you've been in the business trying to sort it out for 15 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's a lot. And I think the other thing that prevents women from moving forward is it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming to think about having to do all of these things. And so when we get overwhelmed, we don't act. Right? Because that is feminine nature. Like we're not like the masculine. We don't simply go out and push through things.
Right.
When we get overwhelmed, we pull back.
Yeah.
And so to be able to take that away.
Yeah.
And the other thing is we need to feel supported. And it's really hard on your own, out there trying to do it every day on your own, to feel supported. And that's the other beautiful thing about this movement, this network, is the incredible community and support that you're creating inside of here.
Yeah, it's turning into something masterful and bigger than I ever imagined. So Leah, we've got a massive amount of questions that are starting to come in, and we want to get you some of the answers for them. And I think, so Tammy asked the question, so you brought this up, because we talk about this often, is what is the money line? And I'll answer it first, because it's something that we've implemented actually into our company that turned our company from, a $500,000 company to $3 million plus. And that is protecting the core of your money line, not the bottom line. Like most companies talk, where's my bottom line? How can I save money? How can we cut corners? Or how can we make sure we increase our margins? Well, we work on our money line, meaning like the center of your company is at the heartbeat. That is where your money line starts. Well, how you get money into that money line account is where it comes from. Like, is it coming from certain clients? What are the values of those clients? How do they treat money? You start to become very selective when you realize that if your clients aren't conscious or using money properly and it comes in to your heart, it can clutter and to clog up the goodness of your company. Same thing with investments. When you make investments, what are you investing in that brings revenue into the company, right? When you are advertising, when you're marketing, right? How is that marketing being done? Is it contrived? Is it forced? Is it manipulative? All of this is connected to the consciousness and the karma of your money line, right? So it's like how everything connects. The moment you start to expand on how you generate money, where it comes from, who uses it, who you pay, how your employees use the money, that's now protecting the money line. Do you want to add to this one, babe?
Yeah, so for me, I believe so powerfully that everything is just energy, right? And so money and currency are just energy. And energy is neither good nor bad. And so when money, though, will take on any positive association we make onto it or any negative association we make onto it. So this is part of why we get this money is the root of all evil and all of this programming around greed and all of this, because are there people out there that make money that do horrible things with it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that money is evil. It doesn't mean that money is bad. And so money will take on that vibration and frequency that you choose for it to take on. So for me, this is the work that I do, and what I really like to focus on is that not all money is good money. And you said it really, really well. It's like, don't take money because you're in a place of scarcity or lack from somebody that is not in integrity with the work that you're doing or in alignment with your divine immortal soul. It's really important that we start to look at what's in alignment for us. Because the thing is that I will tell you, you sacrifice a few in the beginning for so much more in the end. And, I think that many of us have learned this the hard way, especially if you've been in business for a long time, especially those of us that worked in corporate. But you get to make a choice in each moment about what your interaction and your relationship with money is going to be. And if you choose to come to money from an aligned place, from a place of desiring to be a good custodian of your money, and that means paying attention to where it's coming from and where you're putting it. You know, the other thing that I know you and I both believe so strongly in is the universal law of giving. And that giving 10% or more, usually, right, back to causes that we care about. That is beautiful custodianship of the money line. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful way to make sure that money is continuing to circulate in a positive, high vibrational, high frequency
You know,
way.
it's interesting you say that. I remember when someone told us to tithe, right? They call it tithe. We call it aving because our number's 8. And we give 8% of everything that we earn to others in need or charities. And at first I'm like, we didn't have the money. We did not have the money. In fact, my husband still has a receipt. When we were in Fiji, there was the Fijian team, they're going to the big championship, but they had raggedy uniforms. They were like a village team that came together, but they won, they won. And so we said, well, we'll help them. We were going to buy them t-shirts. We get there and we find out they need socks, they need shoes, they need everything, right? This is like 40 men. And the bill was $3,000. Brian still has the receipt. And it was, we had, I think, 3,000, I think we only had 2,500 in our account at that time. And we wrote the check just hoping that money would come. And he looked at me and showed me like what's in our bank account. I'm like, oh, we wanted just to buy t-shirts. It was gonna cost $500, but they needed it all. And we did that. You know what happened? Like 3 days later, like $10,000 comes into our bank account because we were willing to let it go. And I think that's what's happening right now in the States and around the world. People are squeezing on and holding on too tight, and they're changing the energetic karma and the energy of the money because they feel like it's not gonna come back.
Yeah. There's so much fear right now. You know, that if I could tell people anything, it's let go of the fear. Put down the fear. Trust yourself. Trust your connection with source, God, source, universe, all that is, whatever it is that you believe is there helping and supporting us in our journey. The fear is not serving us. It is the most debilitating spiritual sickness that we have right now. And so, yeah, the trust part is so huge.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest. And so trust yourself. Let's get some questions because I already see some questions popping up over here. Janae is asking, I want to release my guilt around money, but it keeps coming back. What should we do about that?
Yeah, so I mean, guilt and shame, right, are two of the lowest vibrating emotions, and these are the emotions that affect us most when it comes to money, but it's also the emotions that are used to control and manipulate us the most. And so, you know, I tell my clients all the time, stop beating yourself up for what you didn't know then. And when we step into this place of custodianship and we have an awareness about our past mistakes and about how we weren't a good custodian of money previously, but then we step into the now and say, okay, from this moment forward, I want to do better.
Yeah.
And you start actioning that and you start moving forward in being a good custodian of money, it cannot help but shift that guilt. But you have to stop beating yourself up.
That's a big one.
You know, so I think that's huge, and this is the work that I do, deconstruction work around all of this stuff when it comes to money, wealth, and currency. I have a free Facebook group called Wealth Alchemy that you can search and find, and I have a free 30-day program in there that anyone can come to do the.
Yeah, if they get inside the mystery box, you're also
the mystery box has a $4,000 wealth repatterning course in it. So
for $97, get it if you haven't gotten it yet. Make sure you get it.
If you haven't done that, you really should.
You really should.
Plus all the other stuff that you get. I mean, it's crazy.
We're giving away all kinds of courses.
So
my best course in there. So if you haven't gotten that or Ignite Your Fire, make sure you do that as well. Eileen is saying, or Desiree, I think I fear success, that women around me will resent me if I succeed more. How do I deal with that? I think that's common.
Most likely, some of the women that are around you are going to.
Yeah.
And the most important thing that we can do right now is come into spaces like this and start building and creating community of women that want to and desire to support each other, because that's how we shift. And we hold love and compassion for the women that aren't quite there yet. that are still operating from those places of scarcity and lack and fear. But you have to be brave.
Yeah.
You have to be brave, and you have to start, because you deserve to be properly resourced. You deserve to be wealthy, and the world needs your voice.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so Eileen says, I'm so sick and tired of being held down, but I don't know where to even start.
Whew. Yeah, and I mean, look, like, I think that this is a collective feeling right now across the globe. I think we're all feeling held down in one way or another. And, you know, it's hard because I think that it's easy for me to sit here and say, just start, just action, just move forward, when the fact is that we've been so controlled and manipulated with fear that many of us are just operating from our midbrain.
Yeah.
We're in that fight, flight, freeze.
Exactly.
And most of us as women, we freeze. It's just that paralyzed will of not being able to move forward. So the thing that I would say is start cultivating a conscious connection with source. Really start taking care of yourself. Start really serving that nervous system and get out of, as much as you can, that midbrain. Because this is the thing that prevents us from taking action. And make a list. Make a list of all the things that you would do if you felt like you had the power or the backing or the support to do them, and then slowly start taking things off that list and taking action.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, and being around women that are supportive of it. Because that's the thing, the other women will falter away, or they'll actually see that it's not affecting you at all, and they will come and join your girl band. This is the big purpose of why we've created Women Gone Wild, why we're writing a book that many of you guys are already putting in your applications for, but also why we're building this network. Because many of you just need to be in a community. You deserve to be in a space of other women, listening to other women, so that you stay in that vibration and that high level of frequency. And then all the other women will just either fade away, or they'll come in and align with your frequency. This is what it's all about. Leah, I absolutely love you so much, and really appreciate you. I mean, I've learned so much just by us, you know, like hanging in our space. And thank you for bringing your community here also, because we're so excited to get all of your community and everyone inside this network, so we can really help shining and not only adding additional streams of income, but showcasing their content, protecting their content, showing them how to use tech that they never have used before. Like, there's so much that we're going to do together. And you're also the author in the next book, Wealth.
So excited.
Yeah, which is going to be super cool. So anyone that wants to also be inside the book with Leah, fill out an application. We do have limited spots. I think we only have 10 out of the 25 that are left.
Amazing.
Which is great. And is there anything more that we should leave here with from you, Leah, before I introduce the final and wrap up the day for everyone?
Oh, wow. Just so honored to be here, and just to be a part of this incredible movement that you're creating. And I think that, you know, the thing I got from this incredible day, because I was watching, you know, in the VIP room the whole day, was just, we are so powerful together. And when we start looking at wealth from eyes of, am I wealthy in all areas of my life, instead of just around finances or money?
Yeah.
That's actually when making money is easy. You know, I think that people don't realize this.
You can make $1, you can make $1 million.
Yeah, and when you start creating wealth in all the areas of your life, money just flows. It has no choice but to. So start looking at maybe the areas where you feel like things aren't excellent and where you don't have wealth, and focus on those.
Yeah. Yeah, because the health.
Yeah,
right?
so important.
Your relationships, right? How you speak to yourself. This is all part of the wealth in your life. Yeah. Those you hang around with, how you attract, what you attract, that's wealth. Yeah. And that, the last part, unfortunately for most, is the financial side. But all of it has to be wholesome. And this is why when people ask these questions, like, just look at yourself. Are you wholesome? Do you feel that you have wholly completed everything that connects the wealth in your life? And usually it's no. Yep. So work on your relationships first. My husband and I have been working on a relationship, you and Sean, and boom, more money. Yeah. Like, wow, how did that happen?
And as we know, the financial success is not sustainable if the rest of if you're not looking at wealth holistically.
That's it.
Because you'll make the money, but you can't sustain it.
That's
The
it.
sustainable wealth comes when you're wealthy in all areas of your life.
All right. Leah, I love you.
I love you too.
You're the best. Thank you, sister. Thank you. All right. I'll meet you in the gold room shortly because we're going to close up here and I don't know. It's only like 11 or 12. I might have a glass of wine this morning. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably have a juice. But we have some shout outs, so don't go anywhere because I want to close everyone up because I have a really big gift to share with all of you before you go. But we've got some really epic people that have been chatting with us throughout this whole evening. Cheryl, Kathy, Jennifer, Janelle, Amanda, Lisa, Candace, Nikia, Katrina, Loretta, Callie, thank you for interacting. I know it's the first day and you're just getting warm, you're getting used to this community, but there are thousands of you here tonight, thousands. And we want to hear more of you interacting and being part of this because the first step into creating a bigger, more wealthy life is to staying connected. So let me drop you right now. There's one more video and then I'm going to come back. So make sure that you come back to me in 3 minutes.
Hey there, this is Kat Stancic, the lead boss, and I've hijacked Rhonda's webcast for a super important reason, and I'm going to let you in on a huge secret that you are going to love.
By the way, I'm underneath my daughter's bunk bed because I want to get the audio sound just right for this. Anyway, back to the video.
Here's the thing. I never recommend anything that I don't believe in from anyone who I don't like. And the truth is, I not only like Rhonda, I trust her and I respect her. But real quick, with all the content-rich conversations going on during this live webcast, I'm going to give you a kind of mental break. Consider this a mini vacation from this very full day of valuable lessons, experiences, and business-expanding ideas. So here's your quiet moment of reflection. Okay, I don't know what you know about Rhonda, but one thing's for sure, she knows exactly how to help women like us get our message and mission out there in a big way so we can grow our businesses fast and create a positive impact. And guess what? You might be thinking this is just another info course, training series, or program. Newsflash, not even close. We know the last thing you need is yet another program that takes hours and hours to get through, or another tech tool that looks awesome, but just makes you want to throw your computer out the window. The Wild Network is different. It's the only platform of its kind designed by women for women. Because we know that what you really need is a way to get content you've already got and your expertise or passion out there in the world. It's heartbreaking to spend time creating valuable content that could be so helpful, but isn't, because no one sees it. We all know what it feels like to log into most platforms. It's one interruptive ping, push, pressure attempt after another. But when you log onto the Wild Network, you're entering a new space. With the Wild Network, we've already built a community of 100,000 women strong and growing to help you get more visibility and create meaningful connections. We know you've got a story or a message that matters and you want to get it in front of more people you can positively impact. So Rhonda created this platform to do exactly that. As part of the Wild Network, you'll attract your perfectly aligned audience fast. And best of all, you don't need to produce any new content to make this happen. Just take what you've already got sitting on your hard drive or YouTube or Facebook, plug it into the Wild Network, and watch things grow. Our network is just 5 simple steps built around 5 core features. Step 1, choose your Wild level, then set up your profile and visibility level using Resyndicator. Step 2, link to your products, programs, services with the invisible selling engine, Funnel Zero. Step 3, share your status as a featured Wild expert, leveraging your Wild Media Kit, the Brandstorm. Step 4, focus on what matters as you watch your content spread like wildfire via Social Blaze. Step 5, connect with the community, then give and receive easily trackable referrals thanks to Recommendify. Oh, and if that's not fantastic enough, we've also got some awesome secret bonuses to throw in right now. See that little countdown clock somewhere beside this video? Well, it's the bearer of some exceptionally good news for you. Right now, while that clock is ticking, you've got a chance to get some very special countdown bonuses. And these are bonus gifts we know you just can't find anywhere else because we want to help you succeed even more. Wild bonus number 1, Wild Network ad spots. Feature your products, programs, and services across the Wild Network in targeted ad spots. Our smart AI matches what viewers are interested in with what offers we show, so it never feels like a pushy interruption, but instead like the exact thing they were hoping to see. Wild bonus number 2, imagine being featured in Women Gone Wild magazine. It'll be a great positioning and credibility builder you can share with your potential clients and current clients, and it'll help you get more media coverage too. Wild bonus number 3, get a personal column in Women Gone Wild magazine. Join as a rock star for your own channel. We'll also give you your own column in Women Gone Wild magazine. Wow. Awesome bonuses, right? That's because we want you to feel appreciated, welcomed, and special like the wild woman you are. Now we've got one more big bonus for you. When you join before the timer counts down, you'll get a free membership in the Wild Women Mastermind. It's an invite-only, once-a-month think tank and networking session hosted by Rhonda and her team, where you connect with other wild women and create a bigger impact and so much more. So don't wait. We'll have to take away this bonus as soon as it fills. Go ahead and click that button before the clock clicks down to 0. Why wouldn't you click that button? Get your spot before the network fills up, because this isn't just some unlimited digital program or downloadable. There's actually a hard limit to how many channels and collections we can let in right now. Quick time check. Is it deadline o'clock yet? Did you miss out on this? Not yet? Okay, cool. Because it's time for you, my friend, to finally get seen everywhere that matters. Finally. And here's your sign. So as you click the button, know that what's waiting for you on the other side is the visibility and growth you've been looking for. And you know that's worth investing in, especially at this crazy introductory offer. Go ahead and click that button now. Time's almost up.
Okay, what do you think? Pretty powerful stuff. What a big, big day. But let's just talk about this biggest thing that we've been talking about, right? And everyone's been asking, and I've been getting a lot more questions. So I want to just kind of close it up so you understand what it is that we're doing. Do you feel this energy that we're creating? We're not only creating a container for you now, but we're creating a container for you for the future, continuing to be part of and with other women. But this Wild Network is going to be the largest content network created and powered by wild female minds, created by women for women. And the reason I built this network was, first off, because there's a huge giant gap that I notice for women in business. It's something that keeps so many women out of control in their mission and in their businesses. And we all know that valuable content that helps people is key when it comes to succeeding, right? But for me, my content was spread way too thin across so many different social media platforms. And unless I was constantly marketing and paying for expensive traffic, I just wasn't getting enough of the right customers and clients. So right now, with the changes that are taking place, social media is heading towards becoming obsolete. I'm just going to be really straight up and honest with you. So the Wild Network is my way of helping other women prepare for how to place our content in front of the right people in huge numbers. I don't do anything small if you haven't noticed. Social media platforms are censoring videos. Like, take a look. Even just looking at my platform, I normally get thousands of views organically. I'm getting like 100. It's ridiculous, but they're censoring them. Why? Because they can't listen to them fast enough. They're afraid of what we're saying. Top influencers, even with the best content, are getting a handful of views and comments, especially when it comes to video. And you know as well as I do that video is the absolute best way to connect. It's how people learn to know, like, and trust us. Look, I've had my team build the Wild Network to help prepare you and us for these ever-growing gaps in social media. Same thing goes for sales funnels. Like right now, many of you are just at Funnel Hacker Live. I love ClickFunnels, I love funnels. But listen, I've been learning how to build funnels and this technology for the last 15 years. And they're a key component in building a successful empire. Don't get me wrong, but let's just shoot it straight. Funnels are so masculine in almost every single way. They're mechanical processes that push, they squeeze, they convert, they indoctrinate people. Every one of those words are super masculine words, aren't they? As women, our ways are centered around nurturing, and we like to help, to serve, and to create impact. These are wild women words. When it comes to funnels, most other women I know have neither the wherewithal nor the investment money, nor do they want to deal with the mechanical and tech side. Come on, I know who you are. I've had many of you reaching out to me, which is what keeps you not reaching the potential, not reaching the wealth that you deserve. So I thought to myself, how about if I, as someone who's done all the work for 15 years, helps you build something so that you have all the funnels, the technology set up for you easily. And how about if you don't need to ever feel salesy, slimy, because you're only connecting and sharing your gifts with the world and with the right audience. And imagine how great it'll feel getting in front of exactly the right people so that you can create a massive audience of exactly the right people for you on your own terms, in your own way, without ever feeling like you and your content are spread too thin to matter. That's the Wild Network. You, everywhere that matters, finally, right? We make the deals and connections for you to syndicate your content. I want you to hear what we're doing, because I'm in PR, right? Syndication means everything goes when you touch a button, right? Syndicate your content to 40 plus major networks and platforms instantly. And the way that we do that is with one of the most powerful features of the platform. So write these down. Number one is the Resyndicator. Resyndicator, this is innovative technology, syndicates your featured content to major networks and platforms, including Amazon Prime, MSNBC, the BBC, Mashable, People Magazine, the Washington Post, the LA Times, New York Times Weekly. Like, I've got access to them all. This is plug and play and profit for wild women. Think of it like a digital version of Paradise Island, home of Wonder Woman and the Amazonian warriors. We've already built a community of over 100,000 women strong and growing to help you get more visibility and create meaningful connections. We've started to do it already today. Many of you are already registered, but we've already got women that are inside the network with their content, and we're driving traffic. See, because we know you've got a story or a message that matters and you want to get it in front of more people you can positively impact, right? We're on a mission to help you to start building your audience more than just a few people at a time. You're going to attract a big, perfectly aligned audience and fast. And best of all, you don't need to produce any new content. Just take what you've already got sitting in your hard drive or your YouTube or Facebook and let our team plug it in to the Wild Network, and then watch your audience grow. That means visibility, getting found and being seen by future clients, customers, potential partners, speaking stages, opportunities. Plus, it means connections, connecting with other influencers and change makers to increase your circle of reach as you're building key relationships that grow your business and put you more in control of your life. Because here's the thing, it breaks my heart when I see a wild woman spend so much time creating valuable content that could be so helpful, but it isn't, because no one ever sees it. We all know what it's like logging into most of our social media platforms. It's one interruptive ping, push, pressure attempt after another, and it's distracting, right? But when you log onto the Wild Network, you're entering a new space where things just suddenly start to make sense. Our network is designed to be simple. It's just 5 simple steps built around 5 core features, okay? Number 1, you just choose your wild producer level, either your own collection or an ongoing rock star channel. Then set your visibility level when you use our Resyndicator, okay? Step 2, Funnel 0 is what we're calling it. The invisible selling system and engine at your products and your programs and your services. So much easier. Number 3, leverage your Wild Media Kit, the Brand Storm, the share your status as a featured Wild Network content producer. People are going to start looking for women that are in the Wild Network. And I've got already so many of our bro marketers. They're like, how do I learn more and tap into how to work and sell with women? We have it. We are it. Number 4, though, is focus on what makes and what matters as you watch your content spread like wildfire with our social blaze. Boom, push a button. Can you imagine? all of a sudden you got press releases going out, you've been syndicated in different spots. Like, it's major, and all to your social platforms. Step 5, use Recommendify. This is what I've been talking about all day. That Rolodex to connect with the community and give and receive easily trackable referrals. Remember what Leah and I were just saying about creating your own revenue streams? We're building this in because we know when you join the network, your clients, your audience is going to also want to be in the network. So we're building in a way for then you to also make multiple streams of income and referrals. But even bigger, imagine being inside of the largest network with women and be the one featured as the top hypnosis, right? Or the top marketer or the top spiritual teacher, right? Like, this is what we're building, and to be featured. Things and help the most people that you can. So as a Rockstar content producer, you're going to get your very own premium channel inside of the network. And as part of that, you're also getting a customized profile page with your photo, your bio, plus links to all your social media and to your main offers or website. You'll also get featured in mailings to the network list and on Wild Network social media. On top of all of that, you're also getting super, super powerful bonuses. Bonus number 1 is getting your offers featured in advertising throughout the whole network. We'll be featuring your products, programs, services across the Wild Network in targeted ad spots. And our smart AI matches what viewers are interested in without even having to like the offers to show like their offers, right? So it's never gonna feel like a pushy interruption, which is just the exact same thing that I was hoping to see. On top of that, and as a second huge bonus, you'll get a published feature inside of our Women Gone Wild magazine that's coming out in January. So you're not only gonna be featured, but you're also gonna be able to get your own column. And you're gonna be able to be featured. You're gonna be able to place your clients and tell stories for your clients, feature them in your column. It's gonna be like a great positioning credibility builder for you, and you can share with your own potential clients and current clients. And it's gonna help you get a lot more media coverage too. Like, I'm in PR, right? So the more media coverage people have, the more people want them to be part of it. And as a third bonus that nobody on my team can actually believe I'm giving away, is that we're building into the magazine your own column. So once we launch in January, you're gonna be a feature in the magazine, and then we're gonna build in for you to be a columnist inside of the Wild magazine. Now, being an SEO and PR, I know how to not only bring eyeballs to these columns, but to build it so that we can start competing with the big guys. Like, I work with Forbes right now, Inc. magazine. We're wanting to make Women Gone Wild magazine the women's choice, or the Women's Inc. magazine, right? So that we can actually grow and build. So what's your expertise or your passion? We'd love to feature you in every issue with your own column. Choose your topic, build major visibility with consistent positioning of your content in the magazine. And look, let me just be straight with you guys. For every single feature of this network, there are at least 2 companies charging 5 times more than we are with this Wild network. And at this crazy low price, under $3,000, literally $29.97, it's never going to be this low again, I promise you, because you're going to be part of one of the pioneers that are launching it. Because this kind of reach and exposure and features that are set is so much more. I mean, what we even charge now to get some of the reach now that we're going to have, this is going to take over a lot of stuff that we're doing currently. And I know it's a huge set of bonuses. But me and my whole team and our circle of influencers are set on helping you succeed. But if for any reason you feel like the Rockstar producer level is out of reach for you, then we wanted to give you a very dummied down or smaller version and smaller level, if you will, to get access to get started. At this level, you're gonna create your own Wild collection for $9.97. So the Wild collection is a themed collection of your content inside of the platform. But like I said, I believe I believe in you, just like we all do, and I think that you should be ready for being a rock star. So trust your intuition and jump in with us right at the top. All you need to do is get signed up and have an entire team who is going to be taking you by the hand and walking you through the process for you. All you have to do is decide what content level you want to play and share at the system. And again, you don't need to create anything new. You can if you want to, but really, we can get you rocking and rolling really fast with all the current content that you have. So you can just send us the content that you already have, and the team will get it all in place, and you'll come off like rock stars and wild rock star women that you already are. So one super important thing, though, is that there really are a very legitimately limited number of spaces available. And it's really just due to logistics and because I want to get a really good test for what we're doing. So we're getting this limited number of featured wild women in, and then we're going to be doing a huge media blitz and push so that we can continue to spread our message and get it going and growing like wildfire. So that's why we need you in. So right now it's time for you guys to click the page, the button on the page, and I can't wait to see you inside the Wild Network. It's your time. On the page right now, there is a button that you guys can actually register and join us. So I am so happy for all of you to be here. I'll be able to house some questions for you that you might have in the comments that might come in. And I'll be able to jump inside there. But I want to thank you for your time today. And I wanted to remind you, let's not waste time and say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Because what's happening is everyone else that saw this, that got the recordings or that has been watching, they're already starting to register. We've got a substantial group that's already in. We've already sold 10 spots of the book. So right now is your time. There's no more time to waste. Get inside of the network. Join our community. You're going to get that bonus every month, those of you that joined during the event today. And you are going to be able to be part of our mastermind, our monthly bonus mastermind that we're going to be hosting with some of the top people around the world. So thank you all for being here today. Today was full of wealthy information for all of us women. We really created a beautiful container for you all around the world to take us to the next day. I'm so excited. Tomorrow is going to be all about intuition. Thanks everyone for being here. Have a great one and be unstoppable and stay wild.
To be a woman gone wild means to live beyond the conditioning and the constructs of the world we once knew, and be the woman who has broken free of the chains that once contained her. At a rapid pace, the world is shifting. This change has called you into realms of divinely guided leadership and into a movement of wild women who have linked arms to fearlessly live, fearlessly lead, and fearlessly love. Where the voice that guides us expands from within, where head-led living is being replaced with a devotion to heart-led leadership and pure alignment. Every single woman is a leader. You, Queen, are a leader, which is why you arrived here. Whether you are leading yourself, your family, or your community, whether you are single, married, a mother, an entrepreneur, a healer, or a woman with a dream, you belong here. Feminine leaders have been called to rise and stand front and center to share their voices and evoke waves of change across our planet. When a wild woman speaks, people listen. They hear her, they are moved by her, and they tell others of her. As the world revolutionizes, the foundation of this new construct lies in the strength of community. Connection and courage have already begun to form, as the cornerstones of which the pinnacle to our greatest awakening will be built. You have been called to be unafraid, to feel deeply, to lean into the nudge that continues to whisper within. Link arms with us. Rise fearlessly.